Welcome back to Trader Studio. Today we're going to be talking about Australian CPI inflation data, and we're also going to be talking about New Zealand interest rate decision. I'm going to be talking about both of them in this video. We're going to be going over some potential trade ideas heading into tomorrow. So the first one that we are going to look at is going to be Australian CPI data. I am mainly going to be focused on either AUD, USD, or I'm going to be looking at Australian dollar, JPY. Now, everything that I'm going to say, this is going to apply to the Forex markets and the futures markets as well. I've got my Trade account here. As you can see, we are looking at the Australian dollar. So this piece of data will apply to both. You can do Forex on this data and futures, and I'm going to be looking at it for both. So right away, we're going to jump right into it. Here is my economic calendar. So it looks like the forecast for tomorrow is 3.6% interest rate, or excuse me, inflation. We're going to be going over New Zealand interest rate later. That's why I got confused. Here is the CPI number that we're looking at tomorrow. Forecast 3.6. Very easy to trade inflation data. It's one of the most easiest things that you can do. Just keep it simple for now. Now, when you do trade inflation data, you do have to keep it simple, but also it's not just black and white. If it does this, it's easy. This is going to happen. Obviously it's the stock market. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. So keep that in mind. But this data, if it comes in our favor either way, it's very strong that it's going to play out in our favor. So right into it, we've got a forecast of 3.6, as you can see here, for inflation data, CPI. So it's going to be very easy. If inflation comes in higher, if they say Australia has had higher inflation, this number comes in at 4.0, 4.1. It's higher inflation, the Australian dollar will go up. It'll gain strength. So what that means, let's start with the Forex side of it. If we're looking at AUD USD or AUD JPY, we're going to be looking for buys on both of these because the Australian dollar is the first currency. It's AUD. Now, if it was something else like USD AUD or Euro AUD, it would be the opposite, but I'm just going to keep it simple. AUD, USD, AUD, JPY, these will both be going up if we get a higher inflation print. And then same for futures, Australian dollar, if inflation does come out higher, we will be looking for buys. Now, for both all of these line up really the exact same. If inflation comes in lower, if we get a lower print, 3.6%, it comes out lower, 3.4, 3.3, 3.2, then we are going to be looking for sells on Australian dollar in the futures markets. And then in the Forex markets, we are going to be looking for sells as well. Very easy, very simple to trade inflation data. Now, keep in mind, if that does happen, that is the fundamental reason. You still have to wait for your technicals to line up. So make sure to draw up your support and resistances. Like, for example, if we get something like this, make sure that it does break right there. It broke right here. It would be nice to see something like this as well tomorrow, depending on the piece of data. Now, I know this is on the 5-minute time frame, so it'll be a little bit different later on, but let's say we get the candle to break this resistance area right here. Once it breaks that, then you'll be comfortable with the buys. So definitely still look at your technicals. Make sure that you are taking it, or make sure that you are making the right trade, not just getting in just because you see, oh, it came out lower, I'm just going to get in for sells. No, still make sure that the technicals line up. And yeah, that's pretty much what it's going to be for CPI data. It should be very simple. Hopefully we get a fantastic trade off of it. And that'll be exactly what I'm looking for Australian data. Now, moving on to New Zealand interest rate decision. Alrighty, so moving on to the New Zealand interest rate decision. So tomorrow, the interest rate decision is coming out, and it is expected to be 5.5. Now, the interest rate decision has came out at 5.5. Let me just click on this and show you. Yeah, it has came out at 5.5 for the last several months. It's been 5.5. So I'm expecting the same thing tomorrow, which would not cause me to take a trade on this at all. Now, if we were to get, I'll just make it super simple. If we were to get higher, if they raise interest rates, I will be looking NZD JPY or NZD USD to go to the upside. So higher interest rate, buys. If interest rate comes out lower, hey, we're cutting interest rates, sells. That's what I'm going to be looking at on NZD JPY and NZD USD. And then again, same thing for the futures market. Got the New Zealand dollar here. Higher interest rate, buys. Lower interest rate, sells. I doubt that we're going to get anything, if I'm being completely honest. I think it's just going to come out at the 5.5%. But if we do get something, I mean, I think it could be a really, really good opportunity since they've kept it 5.5 for so long. I think it would be a big surprise if they finally did something different. That is what I will be looking at for the New Zealand interest rate decision. Alrighty guys, there you have it. Those are my trade ideas. That's what I'm going to be looking for tomorrow. Let's make sure that we have a great day. Super excited for both of these to come out. I hope that we get them in our direction. And again, just make sure to take the easy trade, the no-brainer trade, and let's just have a great day tomorrow.